Is Calvin Klein Obsession still relevant today? This is my bottle, or rather my mother's bottle, of Obsession, which I got for her about a year ago, and as you can see, there's not much left. And I did do a review of this, again, probably a year ago, which is when it was mostly filled. So this is my mother's favorite fragrance, but it's also a favorite of many others. And this is a very famous fragrance that came out in 1985. It was kind of the staple of the 80s. And the reason why it was so prominent and so popular is because of its unique scent profile. Mainly animalistic, musky, really heavy sort of scents here. But how does it fit in today, in today's scent climate, you could say? Let me give you a brief rundown of what kind of notes are in this fragrance. Vanilla, basil, bergamot, orange, spices, definitely some sandalwood thrown in there, cedar, and then most importantly, incense, civet, a little bit of vanilla, amber, and musk. So this is a really heavy fragrance. This is no playing around here. When you wear this is serious. And it was definitely one of the most popular and most worn fragrances of the 80s, and even into the 90s it was still extremely popular. But today, it's kind of been cast aside. I would say it still has a really good place in the perfume industry today. So today, these days, women's perfumes have taken quite a turn from what was popular in the 80s, the 70s, that sort of thing. Today, women's fragrances are usually quite sweet. You know, you could think of Carolina Herrera, Good Girl, or La Vie est Belle from Lacombe. Extremely sweet, gourmand fragrances. So, you know, these dessert-smelling, sugary fragrances. So that's currently what's popular, especially also like really ripe fruit fragrances. Usually very strong, very prominent, extremely feminine, that sort of thing. In the 80s, when this was popular, musky, animalistic, spicy fragrances were the thing, because that was the time when women were gaining more power in the industry. You know, they got those power suits with the shoulder pads and all that. So spicy fragrances, heavy fragrances in general, were very popular for women back then. This is only one example. Another good example is Coco by Chanel, which also came out in the 80s and was also a very strong, spicy fragrance. This may not be exactly what most women are wearing today. However, it still has a certain niche that it can fill and fit into. And it has a large list of great qualities. You know, if you enjoy spicy fragrances, musky fragrances, animalistic fragrances, and strong fragrances that last a long time, this has all those benefits. And I do know quite a few people who do not like this fragrance. They think it's too strong, too animalistic, too this or that. But I really like it. I know quite a lot of people who really like it. And I just think it's a nice fragrance. You know, if you want to have a really deep, heavy, serious fragrance, this is a good one. And it is definitely a different take on a feminine fragrance, because it's not your typical feminine fragrance. It's not sweet, really. There's a little dash of sweetness from the vanilla note that it has, but primarily what you're getting is super smoky, spicy, incensey, you know, all that. And then that civet note also comes in, that animalistic note. Yeah, this is like primal. This is a primal fragrance, and I love the longevity. It's easily 8+ hours. It will not fail you, will not let you down. And interestingly, this is the women's version, but there's a men's version of Obsession. Now, it's hard to see, but the liquid in here is orange, deep rusty orange. The men's version is more of a light, kind of golden color. And what I have heard, because I have not personally tried the men's version, I have heard the men's version of Obsession is quite a lot weaker compared to this. It's just like this, but weaker. And which is kind of interesting, because usually men's fragrances are stronger than women's fragrances, but this is the exception. And for that reason, I also made another video about whether or not this is a good unisex option, which is yes. I've also heard many men who prefer to wear this, the women's version, rather than the men's version of Obsession, because again, this is just a stronger version with better longevity, better smell, you know, just better overall. So again, this kind of reigns supreme in that category of musky animalistic scents. And besides that, first of all, look at this sleek bottle, and like kind of egg-shaped. But the cool thing about this is that, you know, it's long-lasting, and it smells great. But besides all of that, it's also affordable, which is usually affordability does not go often together with good fragrances. But this is definitely the exception. I think I got this, I can't remember the exact price, but it was somewhere between $30 and $50. It's usually around there. So definitely, you know, under $100, you're getting a pretty good deal for what you're getting here. And you don't need too many sprays of this to really enjoy it, because it is so strong. Maybe 3 to 4 sprays, you know. 4, you're almost going a bit too far. But it is really strong. I sometimes like compare it to Youth Dew by Estee Lauder, which is an older fragrance, which is also very spicy. I would say this is kind of like a slightly smoother version of Youth Dew, because Youth Dew is really spicy. This is a little bit smoother with that vanilla note coming in, you know. But I think it's a well-rounded fragrance. Again, some people will just not like it no matter what. You know, if you're one of those people who do not like animalistic notes like civet or spicy notes, you know, you might as well stay away from this one. But if you do like those notes, you will most likely really, really enjoy this. This is a really good one. So, in today's perfume climate, if you would say that, I think this definitely works still. It's more niche these days. It's not quite as popular as it once was, because in the past it was the kind of fragrance to wear. So today it's a little bit more niche, and I suppose people would call it vintage these days, but this is a really good option. You know, if you want to wear something a little bit different these days, a little bit more spicy, seductive, sort of mysterious fragrance. So, and again, even though it is officially a women's fragrance, most people have found, including myself, it's a really good unisex option in general. So that's pretty much all I have to say about Calvin Klein Obsession for this video. Yeah, probably in my top 10 fragrances for me. But if you have any opinions about this particular fragrance, of course you are welcome to leave those opinions down in the comment section below. If you liked the video, leave a like, maybe subscribe, and I make videos throughout the week, so stick around for those.